right, guys, we have another project. This one is super unique because, well, we're working in this small space here, but that's all right. This is gonna be really cool because this is sort of like during the winter when we had our sandbox, we were just doing repetitive builds over and over again, like 8-foot pondlesses, small 7x10 ponds. This is roughly 7x10. This is gonna turn out to be about 7x8 by the time we're done. But we're gonna try and use as much space as possible. You can see there's some paint on the ground. We've already marked out where we're gonna be going. Our skimmer is gonna be going on this far side here. Our power is gonna be around the corner. We're gonna have a little waterfall. It's gonna be over here, 2 drops, and we're gonna do a bunch of little splits into it. It'll be really neat using all those little rocks with the different shapes on them. So that'll be fun. But we've got this whole side back here and on the back side that we're gonna have to be really tight against these posts that you can see. So just like we were doing in the sandbox, we were doing those little walls out of really small cobbles, those like 4 or 5 inch rocks. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side and on that side. This is gonna be about 2 feet deep with 1 shelf in it, like our normal ponds, but smaller. So these guys are getting ready to dig, but I'm excited to do this. Let's get working. So this is not what you want to see when you ask the guys for a tamper. This one's probably as old as me, so it's definitely earned its keep around here. Underneath all this paint is a bunch of rust and it looks like it just rotted off, which is expected, but wasn't expecting it to happen today. Yeah, I guess I'm just too strong around here. I don't know.
So now we're finally ready to start getting some rocks in here. We got the hole dug, we got our underlayment under our liner in, and then we put a whole sheet of underlayment over our liner to really protect this thing. Right now I've got 2 larger rocks for this size pond. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them on peninsula areas where really it's gonna bump into the pond. So that way it's gonna help accentuate the curve and really bring that out, kind of draw your eyes outwards. So these bigger rocks are gonna go on these peninsula areas where the pond will actually come inwards a little bit to help accentuate those curves. And then on the inside curves, we're gonna put some smaller stuff just to keep it nice and tight, and then work our way out towards the top. We'll put some bigger stuff on that top shelf because then you'll actually really see it. Towards the bottom, you won't see it too much. But we've got these 2 guys. We're gonna stack them somewhere over in here. We got another peninsula spot right here. We're gonna frame our fish cave with some of those bigger guys too. But we got a big pile of rocks. We got a nice pond here. Let's get to work. So like I mentioned before, that first rock is always an important decision. Our first one was this one right here, framing out the left side of our fish cave. It had a nice cutout behind it for that cave just to kind of sit right into it. So it's nice and tight, that cave ain't going nowhere. We cut the top of that piece of the cave so that we can put a nice flat rock on top. And then we have another framer on the side. Now we're just filling in all the bottom here. Boley's working on our waterfalls up here, starting to work our way back into our biofalls so that way we can actually make the waterfalls there, backfilling with some gravel, foaming on top to really get our water to go where we want it to, kind of persuading it. And then I'm just filling in the pond as we go. I'm going to start working on this top level here. We got the bottom section pretty much done. It is nothing short of tight down here with 2 other guys in here. It is a challenge. These smaller ponds are almost just as difficult as the big ponds just because there's only so many guys can do in a tight space. But now I'm gonna work on our skimmer. I'm gonna get the faceplate hooked up, get that whole thing ready to go so that way I can actually frame that out, continue working on this top section. Hopefully by the time I'm done with that, these guys are done. right, we're finally starting to do some edges here. I already got this side wrapped up, going up our waterfall here. I'm gonna show you guys just real quickly how we do it. So right here, I have exposed liner. I've already cut it to length. I like to leave about a foot or so, give or take. Over here, we're plenty high above water. This is well over 4 inches above. So I'm not gonna leave a whole lot of extra, but you like to leave that extra just in case you have any settling over time. It's easy to fix. You're not having to seam on a piece of liner, which in some cases can be very difficult, if not impossible. So with that said, now that you got everything cut, we have also our underlayment cut. We're just gonna tuck it back there, just folding it whichever way it makes sense, in or out. It doesn't matter with your underlayment, but with the liner on the pond side, we roll it outwards. So you see how I have my nice seam on the top that I cut. I'm gonna roll it away from myself this way. That's gonna help create this nice uniform seam that goes all along the top, making sure there's no edges, there's no folds or anything weird. Sometimes what happens is if you fold a whole bunch of times, there can be a fold that's significantly lower than it actually looks, and water will follow it right on out, causing a leak. So by just folding it out away from myself, tucking it down, it looks something like that. I'm gonna sink it a little bit lower, just below the rock, so I can bring my dirt right up to the back of it and really disguise it like I did just over here. And then some spots we'll put some gravel just to hide what's there. But this is pretty much what it would look like all said and done. I'm just gonna bring this dirt right over the top and you'll never know it's there.
So behind me is a pond full of water. This went really fast. This is about 6 or 7 hours between the 4 or 5 guys that were here, and Drew came and helped us at the end, so it was a great help. But our wonderful customers are not home, so they're not here to see it, but we're here and we're gonna show you guys what it looks like. Joe?
I'm ready.
Let's plug this thing in. Wow. Bolly did a great job with that pulling area.
He really did. Didn't think he was going to be able to pull off a little 6-inch by 6-inch pulling area there.
In case you guys don't know, it is really tough. If you haven't built a pond before, it's tough to build a waterfall like that in about a foot of space, and including a pooling area with 2 waterfalls. So I think he did an awesome job. He killed it. But you guys let us know what you think in the comments. We're going to head out of here and start wrapping up. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give that a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.